Hi guys, so I'm sitting here in my kitchen and it's still pretty early. It's just myself and my little guy that are awake, and I thought, you know what, I should just share what's been going on with me the past week. And I don't know why I didn't think that I should. I guess mainly because it's not related to Zepbound, and so I just didn't think it, was worth sharing. But then I decided, you know what, maybe it'll help anybody that might be watching this. And so here I am. Basically, last week I had a pretty bad migraine episode, and it lasted for 3 days. And basically for those 3 days, I was pretty much laid up in my room like the entire time. So it started on Friday night. I didn't come back down and rejoin the family until Monday night. And during that time, I also wasn't like eating any food at all. I was just drinking water and I had broth. And on the third day, I had the smallest amount of applesauce. I served myself like literally half a cup of applesauce and I didn't even finish it. So I come back down. I feel well enough to kind of come back down Friday night and join my family for dinner, but I didn't want to eat what they were eating. It was just way too heavy. And so I decided instead to just eat like a banana, because I thought like I should probably eat something, because I was definitely feeling like pretty weak at that point. So the banana, this is important to note, I normally don't like bananas with any brown on it. I definitely prefer them like more on the grain side, if anything. But again, I didn't want to eat dinner and I knew I had to eat something. And so I ate this banana and it had more brown spots than I would have preferred. And I would say it was probably about a half hour after that I started to feel bloated. And so I kind of just ignored it. I didn't think a whole lot about it. But by the time it was bedtime, I was like, my stomach was completely distended and I just felt super, super uncomfortable. Like I actually had to go to bed with a heating pad. And so I was kind of like, what is going on? Like all I had was a banana. Like, why am I feeling this way? So let me just backtrack a tiny bit. Before starting Zepbound, I always felt that way. I was always very bloated and always very uncomfortable. It didn't stop me from overeating, but that's just where I was at that time. And so after starting Zepbound, it definitely got a whole lot better, but it wasn't completely gone. I would still have days, some days more than others, but I would still have days where by the end of the day, my stomach was pretty distended, bloated. And some days, I would be uncomfortable, but by the morning, it would always go away. And I would always wake up with like a flat, as flat as it was going to be for that day, like stomach. So when I eat this banana and I'm starting to feel, all bloated and uncomfortable again, I'm just like, why? Like I just had a banana. Like it's not like I had fried, greasy food, so it was weird. It was surprising. I didn't know. So the next morning I decide, you know what, I'm just going to get to the bottom of this once and for all and kind of figure out why is it that anything I eat causes me to bloat? Like what is causing it? So I've always suspected that I have IBS, but I've never even talked to my doctor about it because I don't know. I guess I kind of got used to feeling that way. And so it kind of felt normal. And I don't know. I got used to the status quo, I guess. It just wasn't something that I ever thought I should seriously investigate. So, well, that's not true. Let me just mention, before starting Zepbound, I did look into this diet that I'm on now, but there was no way I was going to be able to stick to it because I was just, out of control with the eating at that point. But anyhow, this isn't something that I ever seriously talked to my doctor about. So I'm on Google. I come across this FODMAP diet, which is an acronym for a very long scientific name, which I can't remember. I just remember that the F stands for fermented, but I will put it up on the screen, of course. And this is the diet that I had come across, a few years ago and just decided that wasn't going to work. And so I, put it aside. So at this point, because I was coming off of a 3-day fast, I felt like actually this would be a really good time to do it. Like this was going to be the easiest transition into this diet that I would ever have. And so I decided to start that day. with this diet. And so let me just mention also, this is not something like, it's not for weight loss, although some people do use this diet for weight loss. The purpose of this diet is to kind of identify foods that are triggering for you. So foods that cause you any kind of GI issues. So anything from, being bloated, nauseous, diarrhea, constipation, like any GI issues. So there's like a list of foods that you're allowed to eat, and then a whole lot of other things that you're supposed to avoid. And so the foods that you're allowed to eat, I guess, they're like safe foods because they don't have the, I guess, chemical compounds that these other foods that are, known to be like more triggering for people have. So it's not horrible. There's actually a lot of things that I can eat and that I still like. So it's not like the grapefruit diet, or the military diet. It's not that restrictive, but there's things that you have to avoid. So yeah, it makes it a little difficult. The thing I miss the most is milk. I don't drink milk, but I eat a lot of yogurt, and that's kind of just been a staple on my weight loss journey. So I can't have that, and that's probably been like the hardest part. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm sorry. So I started this diet 3 days ago, and I realized that I have not felt bloated, gassy, nauseous, anything. Like I've just actually been feeling really good. So yesterday I'm making dinner for my family, and I noticed that one of my kids didn't eat the fish sticks, or didn't eat all of the fish sticks that I had made him like earlier, just as a snack. And I was getting kind of hungry. And so there was only 2, and I ate them without even thinking about it. I just ate them. And within about 10 minutes, it was really that quick, I started to feel really nauseous. And at first I'm like, why do I feel this way? Like out of the blue, like I was literally making dinner, and then I just have like this wave of nauseousness. And I'm like, this is so ridiculous. And then I remembered it was the fish sticks. The fish sticks were breaded, and you're not allowed to have wheat. So I looked at the ingredients, and yeah, obviously it had wheat from the breadcrumbs, but it also had milk, which again, I'm supposed to avoid. So I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like it was literally 2 little fish sticks. And I was so surprised that my body reacted that way after that small amount of exposure, or whatever you want to call it. So thankfully it didn't last long. Like probably after about 45 minutes or so, the nauseousness went away, and I was fine for the rest of the day. But it definitely shows me that I am on the right track, and I'm excited to kind of continue the rest of this diet, because I feel like for sure I know that I'm sensitive to certain foods, and this is really going to help me identify not only the foods that I might be or that I am sensitive to, but also figure out like how much of it can I have before it becomes like, where it's not worth it for me to eat, because I'll be dealing with symptoms. So I'm about halfway there, and I'm really just looking forward to being done with this part and getting into phase 2 of the diet, which is where you slowly reintroduce the foods that you've eliminated. And you don't do it obviously all at once, you do it one at a time. I think you introduce one thing every 3 days until you can figure out like which one is the culprit. And of course, it might be more than one. And in my research, I realized that bananas are considered a safe food as long as they are more on the green side. Like once they start to have brown spots, they are no longer considered safe to eat because of the extra sugar in it. Which brings me to the next thing. Of course, milk has been like the hardest part for me, because I love milk, I love, yogurt, I love cheese. So that's been really difficult. But another thing that has been really hard is no sugar. I am allowed maple syrup, but anything else with sugar, can't have it. Even if it's like artificial sweeteners, can't have it. So yesterday was my daughter's birthday. I made her a small birthday cake, and I made brownies, and it was so hard not having some of the brownies, because I love brownies, and I just really wanted brownies with milk so badly. but I surprisingly, by the grace of God, I was actually able not to do that. And I think it's because I already feel so much better. And then just having that experience with the banana and the fish sticks makes me realize that I'm definitely onto something here. And I want to just, I want this to be like a really good experiment. And I want to be as faithful to this diet as I can, because I want to get to the bottom of it. So basically, I just made the determination that the brownie was not going to be worth it. I did not want to mess up my progress or interfere with, like, you know, the process. So I avoided that, but it's been good. But there have been times where I'm like craving my yogurt or, you know, something else I'm not supposed to eat. But thankfully, I only have 4 more days of this phase before I can start reintroducing things, and I will absolutely keep you guys posted on how that goes. But I did, just like I said, I just wanted to share this because maybe you're kind of dealing with the same thing and haven't really paid it much mind, or, you know, kind of gotten to the bottom of it. But if that's you, I would highly recommend looking into this FODMAP diet and seeing if you think it's a right fit for you. But yeah, so anyhow, I will keep you guys posted. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.